Hello, my name is Kathie J, and thank you so much for joining us today. In this edition of the Kathie J Show, we're talking about losing weight, keeping it off, getting healthy, and the things you got to do to be healthy and stay healthy. So joining me today, I have Shanice Espinoza.
Hello.
Yay! Shanice and I have both lost weight with FitMD. FitMD up in Colorado, in Northglenn, Colorado. They have been instrumental in helping both of us get our lives on track. We both had to lose weight for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
We both kind of lost the weight in different ways, but both with the help of FitMD. So
Yes.
thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So we're in maintenance, and how many years have you been in maintenance?
4 years now.
Yep, I think I'm
about 4 years.
about 3 years, and it's been a shaky road. So let's talk about it. Who was Shanice before you lost the weight, and how much have you lost?
So I lost 50 pounds, and before I was just someone who was just kind of eating whatever.
Yeah.
At work, hey, I brought donuts in. There's breakfast burritos. I just getting Starbucks on my way to work every day. I just kind of did whatever, and didn't really feel or see how that could impact my health and stuff like that. And then some other things. I was having some side effects with constant headaches. I had brain fog. I had put the 50 pounds on. My stomach was always hurting after eating certain things. And I had a really bad choking incident on some food. And ending up in the ER kind of opened my eyes to something's going on with me. Certain things I consume is affecting my health. And that's when I had to change to the new me.
So you were getting sick a lot, and you were overweight.
I was overweight.
Yes.
So I went to FitMD.
Were you overweight your entire childhood every time?
No, I was in great shape my whole life.
Oh, really?
And then
okay.
in my 30s.
30s.
Things
Just,
changed.
okay, 30s was a lot of, what should we get for dinner? Let's have movie night and let's stay in. Okay.
But they're like, your knees hurt, my back hurts. Like feelings I've never felt before.
Age, yeah.
And I went to FitMD because I had this mental breakdown. I was crying all the time. I was unhappy with who I was. I felt like I avoided mirrors. I kept buying bigger clothes and bigger clothes. I would always wear hoodies because I didn't feel comfortable.
Your clothing does start to change.
Yeah.
The bigger you get. You don't, you can shop all day, but it eventually, it's not fun.
So I went to FitMD and I was starting their meal plan and everything like that. Well, then there were still foods that was causing me to choke. So I ended up in the ER, and they ended up finding out that I have celiac disease.
So at FitMD is when you find out you have celiac.
No, I was just there for weight loss.
So wait a minute. So being a kid and stuff, like teenager, you never knew that you had celiac disease.
Nothing.
And you ate everything that was bad for you.
Everything.
Because that's the American diet, more or less, is everything. It's got celiac in it, right? What is celiac?
So it's an autoimmune disease, which anytime you consume gluten, so anything with wheat, barley, rye.
That's what I meant. Everything has gluten in it.
Yeah, so anything that has gluten. So your body's attacking your small intestine, like the lining of your small intestine. And once it's damaged, it's harder for you to absorb nutrients. So, and then you have digestive issues and then non-digestive
in your 30s,
issues.
That's what's happening is your body was like, we've been fighting the good fight our whole life, and we can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
So thank God you got to FitMD. So at FitMD,
it was literally within 3 weeks of identifying that.
Because they put you on the meal replacement plan at FitMD, and that's where I started as well. And it's literally shakes and bars, and one meal in the afternoon or in the evening, and it's kind of a way that they are able to help you here at FitMD reset your body, your metabolism, all of that. So when you started doing that, tell me what happened.
So I had already cut out all pasta, carbs, all the gluten, things that had gluten. And then when they told me from the doctors, you can't eat this, it wasn't hard. Yeah. Because I was already cutting everything out anyway.
And you get violently ill if you eat it.
I had an incident yesterday.
Really?
I was kind of choking at a restaurant, and then the entire afternoon, my stomach was completely bloated, and I was like hunched over all afternoon.
What did you have?
Fried cauliflower. I ordered.
So your intentions were good with the cauliflower.
Yes, I went with
the girlfriend. But throw it in on a Sunday at a bar.
Chicken and waffles. But it wasn't chicken, it was fried cauliflower. And I'm just like, oh, this is healthy. This is gluten-free.
That's what I would think.
But then you have to take risk of, cross-contamination with fryers. So
even though it said gluten-free, the thing you ordered was gluten-free. Oh.
But yeah, it still affected me.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
So yeah.
So you can't trust restaurants.
There's some restaurants that are amazing. There's restaurants who ask you, is it a gluten allergy or is it a
All right.
preference?
Right.
And
like, are
that's
you
the
going to
huge-
die if they accidentally cross-contaminate? Or are you just going to be puffy fish? Okay. All right. Which is scary in and of itself, but
And that
yes.
was the scariest symptom, is having, your throat swell.
Yes.
And my throat would swell so bad that I would have to physically put my finger in there to get food out. And I didn't ever need someone to do
right, a Heimlich or anything, but that's very scary.
But I couldn't even swallow water at certain points. And then I just have this, just trying to get this itch out of my cough.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
We're speaking today with Shanice Espinoza. She's lost 50 pounds with FitMD. Okay, so Shanice, so you're losing the weight. And I have to tell you, part of the process of FitMD is, the 4 pillars they teach you. It's the education, it's the movement, and when it came to the education, every week we come in, we weigh in on the machine, the InBody, and it kind of tells you how your water is, how your muscle is, if you're truly doing the weight loss healthy, like the doctors need you to. And so the machine won't lie. And then in addition to that, we're asked to keep track of what we're eating. Mm-hmm. If something made us sick, if something's not working. So that way, if they put it towards, they mirror it with what your weight loss is that week and all that. Every week, this girl had your book was this big.
Oh, yeah.
Talk to me about when you got on this journey.
It was scary at first because I didn't know what is celiac, I'd had to read labels on every single box. I had to do research. There's no manual when it comes to having celiac.
So did Danielle here at FitMD, was she like, this is what you got to look for. You got to just cut this out. So she
did a great job. I think they have a printout of how to read labels, what to look for.
Yes.
And stuff like that. Let's see, what else? And then they had me on a meal plan, like you said earlier. I had make sure you have your proteins, your snacks, your carbohydrates, stuff like that. And then, that was my reason, and my why was my health. And that was the most important thing. Some people's reasons are, I just want to look good in a bikini for summer.
Right.
Well, I wanted that too.
Right. We want that too. But I'm glad you brought that up, Shanice. That's one of the big moments here with your coach, Danielle, is, because that's one of the other things about FitMD is it's a doctor supervised program. So you're not just getting your GLP-1 shot or your meal replacement or your hormones. You're not just getting that handed to you. You're getting that with someone that says, how are you feeling? Well, that's not supposed to happen. Let's tweak this. Well, so you get guidance along the way, so you're not wasting your money. So someone's communicating with you. So Danielle is like, who's driving the bus and what's your why? Because that's going to motivate you and keep you on track. Because losing weight is hard.
Oh, it's hard.
Even with the shots, the meal replacement, even with all of that, so hard. That's why it took me my whole life to do it.
And I think accountability.
Yes,
and
accountability.
Not just from her, but holding yourself accountable, looking at is it the M-Sculpt, or what was the sheet?
The InBody scan.
The InBody.
Yeah.
The InBody scan. She would know when you would cheat.
She would. I hated it.
It's this little peak, and she's like,
what happened there?
Why is this number this? And you're like,
but I swear, I didn't do anything.
You can't lie.
But I needed that because in the past, that's what I didn't have. Is that accountability, someone reminding me, why are you here? And the why, it's if you say I want to be thin or I want to look good in the bikini, Danielle doesn't settle for that. Danielle is like, no, there's another reason.
She wants that longevity.
The whole reason. And mine, like yours, was health. Mm-hmm. Mine was heart failure. Mine was I had 2 kids. Mine was, what are you working for, Kathie, if you won't be around to enjoy it, or your kids, they're going to be so sad that you're dead. That's the truth. Because as you age, weight doesn't really like to age. That's where all the diseases start to come and the heart failure and this and that. So it was a very hard moment for me. And even with the help and the guidance, it was so hard. And it took me a long time, probably twice as long. You came in after I started the program and whipped right through and lost your 50 and was out on maintenance. And I was still trying. But we all lose weight differently.
And I think it's important, too, to have a support system. I have the most incredible family and friends who are like, oh, my God, I found this gluten-free recipe or this gluten-free restaurant. And they've just been the best cheerleaders. And I don't know what I would do without my family.
I agree. It's important to tell friends and family, people around you that you plan on changing your life. Because losing weight or getting on a different kind of healthy plan is about changing a lot. It's hey, I can't, there was a girlfriend, she and I loved to go have pizza and Dairy Queen, and that was our bonding, and we hung out and watched movies, and it was like, we're doing something different now, and I don't hang out with her as much. Isn't it funny? You find different things. And now I have friends that we go walking and all of that. So
I go on hikes, with my sister and my brother. Like they love hiking, and
I love that you've been on both sides. You've been on the, I knew what it was to be healthy. Then I knew what it was to be uncomfortable and overweight. And now I'm back on learning who my body is as I get older.
Right. Exactly. Well, then also too, like with your knees hurting, like I can't do certain things at the gym because my knees, I'm like, okay, maybe I should lose some weight. So then my knees won't hurt
The biggest lesson is carry around that 50-pound dog food bag around Walmart. That is what you're carrying on your body. But I would say this, Shanice, and I always tell Danielle, is being heavy and growing up heavy my whole life, I was never aware of the weight because I just adjusted to the weight. You just learn to adjust to, 180 pounds in 8th grade. You learn to adjust to the weight, and then but I never realized how much space I took up.
Right.
I never realized, my arms still do this when I go to pull out of clothing. Like when I do something and it stops here, like it literally, I drop the piece of clothing still to this day because my body, you just don't realize it. And you don't realize it until the universe tells you you could die if you want to continue this. And then you're like, well, nobody ever taught me how to get rid of this. So now I need help. And that's where FitMD came in.
Exactly.
So tell me other things that you really enjoyed about learning who you were again through FitMD.
I think the biggest thing was I had lost my confidence. I lost my spark. I was quiet. I've always been, I don't say life of the party, but always had a fun personality, very outgoing. And then I gained all this weight and I didn't want to be in pictures. I didn't really want to go to too many things because I just felt like people were judging me. People would make comments about my weight, and that just, it sticks to you.
Yeah.
Oh, you let yourself go.
Someone said that?
You got in a relationship.
Or you just thought they would imply it with a comment?
Said that.
Well, that's horrible.
Like, you let yourself go. And I'm like, no, I haven't. Like, this is something that's out of my control. You don't just.
You're like, I'm aging. Celiac is in my
I
body.
Eat too much gluten and then just.
Right. People,
you know what I mean?
People blow my mind on what they think they have a right to say over your body. So I'm sorry that you had to hear that. I've had to hear some vicious things my whole life. You have such a pretty face.
I think the worst thing I heard was, oh my God, did you have your baby?
Oh.
And I was like, no.
I was never pregnant. Not even happening.
Yeah. And that, like, it hurts you. Like,
it really does.
When did they think I look like that? Like,
it does. Well, it also is like, who has the balls to talk like that? But so, and that always bothered me. And, when I started to lose the weight, one of my excuses of not wanting to lose weight was I wanted to carry the flag for bigger women. And I wanted that. And then once your body says doing that could kill you, you say, well, maybe I need a new flag. But then the new flag is definitely just trying to get people to understand that in this life, you get one chance and you got to find that money. So let's talk about the price of this, because it is a doctor supervised program. And I hear a lot of times from people like, oh, Kathie, if I had that money, I would be losing the weight too. And it's like, well, here's the thing. If you had the money, you still have to work at it. I want to say that first and foremost. You and I still had to understand what it was like to say no to our favorite foods, to learn how to never want them again, to learn how to put exercise in our lives. And we had to make our changes to lose that weight. So it's not easy.
Right.
But let's talk about that price.
So the price wasn't even an issue for me at that point. Whatever life adjustments I needed to make, I made, because this is my health. Like, this is a way bigger reason. And the most valuable thing is my health. I want to be here forever. I've seen what my parents have gone through with their health problems, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and I'm like, I don't want to get to that. Like, they're trying to change their lives and do things differently. And I want to prevent from getting diabetes or having a stroke or, certain things that could possibly be, controlled.
It's so funny you say that, Shanice, because I was here last week picking up my shots, my GLP shots, and I was with Bree at the front desk, and everyone at FitMD is so nice and very helpful, and they want to just make sure you're happy. And as I was in the lobby, a guy was coming in to get his peptides, and he's a firefighter, and he was in there getting his peptides, because peptides are the future. People love their peptides. And so the firefighter guy was in there, and I recognized him from the contests or the calendars we've done, and he's such a nice guy. But he was telling me that, we're all going to go by one of the horsemen, whether it's a cancer or a trauma or a this or that. We're all going to go from something. So his hope is he wants to ride it like this and then just go. He's like, I don't want to be clank, clank, clank. Like now I'm on a walker. Now my ankles are breaking. Now all of this is happening, and that is where I personally was heading. The red flags to my weight was ankles were breaking, fainting was happening. The universe will tell you, your body will warn you. Your celiac was saying, we're dying. We're going to close up on you, and if you don't listen,
You have to listen to your body.
You have to listen. And that's what the decision in our household was as well, was we will find the money.
Mm-hmm.
If this program will have success and help you, and the doctor will follow you, we will. Because I had a different program that was at a hospital that where they did a body scan, which, by the way, don't ever do that, because you just look like, it is not pretty. It was just all red, and it was not pretty. So, but so I thought being there was going to make the difference, and it didn't. What made the difference is the tools that FitMD has.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're like, if you want to get healthy, get in and get out.
Yep.
And then stay on us with the maintenance, and we're going to be cool. And to me, it's a whole other way to enjoy life.
It is. And even just the other day, I went and weighed myself, and it's just like a new reason. Like, okay, I just need a little jump start. I need, and just a new little.
In the past, a weight gain would make me go eat a cake, because I'd be like, it's 10 pounds or 15 pounds. It's all going on, But now it's like they have trained my brain here to know what it's like to feel healthy,
Mm-hmm.
one. And there's an adrenaline there. So when you fall out of it, you're like, oh, no. Two is, I know how to get back. It's hard, but I know how to get back. It's saying no to everything. Danielle likes to reverse your brain and say it's saying yes to life. But I always say it's saying no. It's saying no to 7-Eleven, saying no to candy, it's saying no. So I drive sometimes with my purse in the trunk, my wallet and stuff, so I can't go through a drive-through.
Oh.
What kind of tips have you learned that you would like to share with people?
Like, for example, work. I only buy, I'm going to get my 5 yogurts for, the 5 days I'm here. I'm not going to buy 6 or 7 because I don't need that extra snack from later on. I'm very cautious on what I eat, how many times I'm eating. I do journal to this day.
Do you?
Yeah, I still journal.
She's so good.
Yeah.
You're so good.
I still journal to this day. Some people use, app tracks. I'm not going to drive myself crazy with looking at calories like I used to. And it wasn't even driving yourself crazy. It's just, all right, there's a certain number. All right, I don't want to go over that. Yeah. Now I'm just more cautious. I'm more cautious when I'm at a restaurant and, this salad says 1,300 calories.
Isn't that
this
wild?
Hamburger has 1,300 calories.
Isn't that wild?
Let me find something else to eat. Maybe there's a lighter menu.
Or just in my head, well, this is all I'm eating today. And I try to stick to that. You like the tools of all of that. You also do meal prep.
I do meal prep.
When I come here and I see you, because you work around the corner, you have a salad on your desk. You actually are living the life. Like you are. My maintenance is, I kind of still eat bad, but everything is just like small portions. Like I understand that sometimes I don't even have a full slice of pizza. I have a half of that slice, but I got it and I feel great. And I've learned to live that way. And then guess what? Did Kathie get protein? Grab protein. I was taught to get a vegetable in. Like I'm learning like that. But you meal prep and you do it. Talk to me about that.
You still have to live life, on top of the meal prepping. I'll probably eat out maybe once a week, here.
Yeah, but still.
At lunch. But at the other time, like, all right, this is how I need to eat for the rest of the day.
And a lot of that is also the celiac, like you can't trust eating out.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, but there is a lot of things, if you go to, I don't know, a fast food and then no bun, you still have to be careful if you're getting French fries and, the cross-contamination. But like, if you are looking for places, Red Robin,
Oh, you like Red Robin?
I love Red Robin. I love
Thank
French
you for
fries.
saying that.
They have a dedicated fryer for just French fries. I've never gotten sick there. So there are different things you can go to. But when it comes to eating, like I still want to splurge, on a breakfast on weekends. I love going on breakfast dates.
What's one of your favorite things about the new you?
The new me, just my confidence. I just feel like I have more of a bounce to my walk. I feel like I'm not dragging. I don't want to be hidden. You know what I mean? I want to be there for other people. And that's a huge part of my role, at my job, is helping others. And
Yeah.
I don't want to be just this shy, like, oh, I'm afraid to talk to anybody. Like, I want to just be proud of who I am and be confident in anything that I talk to people about.
Yeah. It's hard, Shanice, when I hear you say that, just because in my head I'm thinking about the fact that it's a true thing out there about mothers not being in photos. And it's because most of our mothers, they gain weight after kids and stuff, and they don't have that confidence anymore, so they don't want to be in photos. So if you go back, like there's a lot of women, like even myself, when I go back to look at when the girls were young and stuff, I was the one taking the photos, not in the photos, because why would I want to be in the photo? And if I was, the kids were right in front of me. So understanding not wanting to be seen, it's a real thing, and it's a way of not living. Like as a mom, you want photos of you and these girls. I go back and look at photos of the ones that did survive, and I'm just like, oh, I remember being there, and I remember being uncomfortable in that outfit. And now I look at pictures and I'm like, I just remember all the fun we had. Being healthy, it's a whole new way to live. What would you tell everyone watching right now that is thinking, that knows they're not feeling right, wondering about the price, wondering about their future? What would you say to them?
Have patience, listen to your body, and do this for you. Don't do this for anybody else. Do this for your own reasons. And, for my situation, this is a lifestyle change. This wasn't just a diet. This wasn't just something that's a short-term thing.
Right. Wasn't a short fix.
A short fix,
right.
And then back to
maintenance is your lifestyle.
Maintenance.
That's what I tell people. If they say, "Aren't you scared you gain it all back?" I'm like, guess what? I know exactly who's going to help me lose it if I do. Like I know I don't want to gain it back, but I'm going to have the tricks to keep it off. Right.
And even just
At least
having,
I pray I do.
But yeah, when you have a good support system and people just to encourage you, every time I'm at the gym, I text my best friend, whether I'm on the treadmill or showing weights, to like, look, I made it. Just that accountability. Nobody needs to know that. I don't need to post my pictures every day of, oh, look, I'm at the gym.
Oh, right.
Hey, I'm a
You don't
private
have
person.
to do that.
Those are just private talks I have with people to hold myself accountable.
I love that. So let's end on that note. Because Shanice today, to compare to Shanice before, Shanice today, confident, cool, collected. So let's talk about the accountability, because that's the one thing I would share with everyone. If you can't get to FitMD, if you can't get to anything of the aids to help you, any of that, it's the accountability. And that would be, you can find a way to walk every day.
Oh, yeah.
That's free. I'm out there I was in my neighborhood, I like doing it. The walking is easy. You can find a way to drink more water. You can find a way to meal prep a little. There's little things that people can do. Let's talk about the accountability before we say goodbye.
So I would just, start slow. You don't need to drastically cut everything out.
No, you don't. That's the biggest thing is you
I would
gotta
make
go cold
small
turkey.
goals that are achievable.
Yeah.
And then, like my goal, I'm gonna hit 5,000 steps today. You don't need to do the drastic 10,000,
No.
but start in just small numbers. Or, I'm only gonna eat out twice this week. Start small and then make bigger goals for yourself later on.
And ask for help.
Ask for help.
Don't be ashamed to ask for help. Yep.
Advocate for yourself. Reach out to friends, family.
FitMD.
FitMD.
FitMD has men and women that are clients. FitMD has men and women that can help you, and the staff. They have a doctor supervised program, and the reason is because our bodies are all complicated, as you've heard, and you never know what you're going to get. So why not have a doctor help you figure it out so that you're not wasting time? You can get to the point and you can start getting healthier tomorrow. Yeah. So thank you so much, Shanice,
Thank you
for
for
being
having me.
here. I appreciate it so much. And FitMDUSA.com. They're always running specials. Get your blood done, get your hormones, get your peptides, do it, and start feeling better. Thank you.
Kathie J.